Welcome to day 2 of our interview series, and I'm here with Tom Gauthier, one of my former improv students who I just ran into on the street here in Budapest. And Tom is leaving in 5 days to go home to France.
No, in a month.
In a month.
You didn't do your research well. I mean,
That was before we started the interview, so I wasn't paying attention. But so Tom's leaving in a month to return home. And Tom, you are a French teacher.
Yeah.
Go that way,
And
take a left,
leave by the
right,
North Star.
and then another quarter mile.
you come up, your lessons, I understand,
It's my
are
natural instincts.
rather good. They're different.
Take a picture. This way.
Don't worry about it. How do you go about planning your new creative things that you bring into your class?
Well, I didn't expect that. So basically, I try to differentiate myself from other teachers, and the main thing is trying to understand really what my students want, what they really want. And turns out it's not really. They don't want to learn French. They want to have experiences with the language, but like the most important is not only like the result. They want to have the feeling of mastering something, of getting better at something, and also they want to have enjoyable lessons. So like through like feeling the results, and also having a good time with a teacher. And I noticed that I can speak a lot of English. I speak a lot of English during my lessons. And a lot of teachers are like, you should speak only French, even if they are beginner, that's how they get better. But I noticed that I can relate to them, and then like we can be like friends a bit, you know? So that's the value I try to bring, mostly.
Were you always like this, or did your style change as you figured that part out?
My style changed. When I started 4 years ago, I was like, I had no idea what to do, no idea about how to teach languages, how they work or anything. And like moving on, I learned, how I can, get better, like niche down to something really specific. For example, like I'm a conversation expert, so I don't teach grammar. I don't, really teach phonetics or anything. I teach how to have conversations in French. So that's what I do. So. Yeah, it's a process.
Was there a moment where you decided to make that shift?
Yeah, there are like moments where I decided to move to the next level. And mostly it was like, okay, for example, I was charging like something like normal for the platform, like $15 an hour. It's a really competitive platform. And I was like, no, how can I charge $20? And I was just thinking like, okay, I need to increase the value. So first I decided that in a month I will charge $20. Like this day, my task of the day will be change my pricing to $20. And in between I have to make sure that my students stay with me, and that new students will be like, yeah, seems that it's worth $20. And I'm around $25. I'm trying to always increase, but it's also the challenge, like, okay, I increase my value, and how can I like increase even more the value for people. Yeah.
You get that? How much time do you have? Stick around for a little bit more, because I got some more questions.
Yeah, okay, shoot.
Yeah, I would love to know about, so for me, when I kind of make that next level, it's not just about the teaching, it's like my entire life kind of changes with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I know you've moved around a lot, like you moved to Berlin, and you moved here obviously, and back home. Do you find that as you move, other things change? Do you find that they kind of move in tandem?
Yeah, sure. I mean, like every time you move, every time you have to redefine. Okay, like the thing about living abroad for me, it's like you have to redefine yourself. Every time you're somewhere new, you don't have this usual feedback. Typically, it's for us, like it was a while ago, but like when you leave home, and you don't interact with the same people. Suddenly, like you meet people and you're showing something like about who you are, and you have to communicate who you are. And like in the beginning, for me, like living abroad or traveling was like I don't know who I am. So I see that in the eyes of people. They are like seeing me like, you know, just like this guy, he's friendly, or you know, he's I don't know what they thought, you know. So you have to redefine yourself. You have to know yourself again, and that of course transfers to the business. Also, like the chaos of moving, of like having a new environment, like yeah, of course it, you know, creates new ideas, I guess. So yeah, I mean, when you're an entrepreneur, we're like, let's move.
It's a zoo out here.
Let's move. Who would have thought?
The pub crawls have made it to Kuklu here at well, look what happened to my watch. So
Your watch is upside down.
no, it's
It's broken.
Yeah. So
It's almost one.
this is not part of the interview, but it's a fun story. I was walking around Berlin, and this guy comes up to me, and he's like, "Hey, you know, where are you from?" He's like super friendly, and I was meditating, so I was really open, and I talked to him.
You were sitting like in a park or something?
Just walking down the street, he just, you know, said hi. Whatever.
I did that as well. Walking meditation in Berlin. I did that a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's a problem because you're so open, and Berlin is not always a safe city. So what he ends up doing is he's like, "I'll teach you this Brazilian handshake. Like, here's how we do it in Sao Paulo." And
Randomly, right?
So he shakes with his left hand, which I later learned is because he wants my watch, right? So he like wraps his hand around my watch, but he's misdirecting me. He starts like playing with my foot on his foot. So my eyes are down here, but what he's doing is he's getting leverage, and he ripped the watch off my hand.
Fuck.
And I had no idea because I was so misdirected. And I chased him down, I put him against the wall, and I got the watch back, but he dropped it as he gave it back to me, and it shattered.
Fuck.
So I'm still wearing it because I love the damn thing, but
Yeah, it's a good story.
it's a problem with being so open in a city. It's like every day I would like close myself back in, and then in the morning open it back up with meditation, and
Okay.
slowly hide.
You're a flower, but you get
Or a turtle. All right.
photo.
So we've been talking about change, and you're going to Asia soon.
Yeah.
To Thailand, Taiwan. Have you done this trip before?
No.
So what made you decide to pick these specific places?
Incredibly boring reason. Okay, no, there are two reasons. Like Thailand, of course, because I'm a fucking digital nomad, I have to go to Thailand. Of course. Like in a way that, yeah, why not? You know, it makes sense rationally to go to a place where it's cheap, but also like, yeah, let's check it out. But the plan is really to stay in Taiwan. I have friends there, and yeah, I want this experience of living in a country. I'm learning the language. I'm learning Chinese. I'm really enjoying it because that's my shit, you know, like learning languages. And so, yeah, that's the plan. Like, I had a really expat life in Budapest, hanging out only with expats, not speaking Hungarian or anything. It was on purpose. Just decided to have this life here, but it will be different there.
And you think in Taiwan it's going to be easier to meet locals?
Yeah, because first I would be living with locals, and I won't be in the main city. I would be in another city. I speak the language, so like not a lot of expats, probably in this city. And yeah, I already know more people in Taiwan than in Budapest through my friends. So it's kind of like I have good hope there too. I mean, yeah.
So let's
what we're talking about.
let's wrap up. You have a language learning website.
Yeah. If you want to redirect people to what I'm doing.
Yeah, where can we find your work?
Okay, so if you want to learn French, to have nice conversation in French, you can go to italki.com/French, and that's my profile.
One more time, because even I don't know how to spell that, and I'm studying. So,
sorry.
italki?
italki, so italki.com/French. And that's it. I'm probably the best French teacher you will ever have.
The best. The very best. And get him while he's cheap, because he's only going places.
Yeah.
So, thank you. Tom Gauthier, the last time together in Budapest. Thank you
Maybe
so
not,
much.
I'm still staying a month, but yeah.
And see ya.
See See ya.